was a dull, dark, and soundless day in autumn, when the clouds hung oppressively low. I had been passing alone on horseback through a particularly dreary stretch of the countryside, and at length I found myself, as the night began to fall, within sight of the melancholy house of Usher. Now, I didn't know why it was, but within the first glimpse of the building, a sense of insufferable gloom befell me. The overwhelming depression that I had experienced was one that I could only compare to the after effects of visiting an opiate den. The moment the drug wears off and reality starts rushing back in, it makes the truth of life seem even more unbearable. I tried to identify what exactly it was about the scene before me that so unnerved me. It was a mystery without a solution. I drew my horse to the edge of a dark, inky lake that lay stagnant in front of the estate. As I looked down, I couldn't help but notice the ghost-like reflection of the manor windows. The soulless countenance left me with an indescribable sense of foreboding. Nevertheless, I had encouraged my horse forward to face the visitation that I had agreed to several weeks prior. The owner of the manor before me, and, my childhood friend, Rodrick Usher, he had reached out to me through a very urgent letter requesting my presence. Now, I hadn't seen him in years, but I was struck by the nervous agitation evident in the writing. He addressed me as his one and only friend capable of alleviating his mental and bodily malady. The honesty in which he wrote, the truth in his words, it invited so much compassion that I could not refuse a summons.
Welcome to the house of Usher, Mr. Powell. I'm Miss Gray.
Miss Gray, how is he?
I'm sure he'll be much better once he sees you.
Oh, is he worse?
Oh, I cannot say. His condition has not improved.
Oh, how long has he been like this?
Quite some time, sir.
I have not seen my friend in quite some time. Do you think he'll have some trouble
Oh,
recognizing
not
me?
at all, sir. He's been quite anxious to see you.
Oh. And what is the doctor's prognosis?
Oh, doctor, I really cannot say. He's an excellent physician.
I'm sure he is.
Call if you require anything, Mr. Powell.
Usher? Usher, old boy.
What?
It's your old friend, Ethan Powell, coming to visit.
Ethan? Is that really you?
Yes, it is I.
Ethan, my God, it is you!
Oh, take it easy there, old
Where
friend.
have you been? I've been writing to you. I've been
It's
waiting
all
for
right.
you.
It's all right. I came as soon as I could.
Pardon me, Ethan. It's just that, why, you are looking marvelous. Sweet heavens, you're indeed a sight for sore eyes.
Why, thank you. You look like you've been having a rough go at it. I would have barely recognized you.
These past months have been rather difficult. That is to say, very trying indeed.
Oh, I can only imagine.
But now that you're here, I believe I can take hold of my senses once again.
So, what's the mystery here, Usher? Has your doctor not been of any service to you? Not been able to find the cause of your illness? If he's not competent, surely I could recommend specialists.
No. Godwin is a very capable physician. I'm just afraid that my condition falls outside the parameters of medical philosophy.
You wrote to me of a mental disorder and a bodily illness, and you say this is beyond the scope of your physician. You truly are suffering from something rare, but Usher, new discoveries are being made every day in medicine and surgeries. I mean, there are even some newfangled theories about mental disorders.
Would you call me Roddy? Like you did in school? I always liked that.
All right, Roddy.
Thank you.
So, Roddy, what's the mystery?
Well, that's why I called you here. You see, you know me better than any living soul. Save my sister, of course. We were close once, like brothers.
Yes, we were. But quite some time has passed since our school days.
Yes, but it is in that time that I've never had a friend like you. Someone who understands me for what I am. Ethan, you are a unique individual, a man open in mind and spirit, seeking to comprehend the labyrinth of the human imagination, that uncluttered and untainted mind, that pure heart to whom I call friend, to whom I must unveil my own black soul to.
Wow, that's rather daunting.
Please, Ethan, I have no one else.
Oh, Roddy,
My condition is merely just a family illness. It flares up again and again, but it will soon pass as it does post a curious amount of these unnatural sensations.
How so?
Well, particularly I suffer from an acuteness of the senses.
An acuteness of the senses?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Well, it's everything. It's the five senses. It's touch, taste, sight, sound, and smell. You see, my abilities are heightened to an almost unendurable level. I can only handle the blandest foods, the dullest, most textureless cloths against my skin, and all odors I find oppressive. Light. I mean, I can barely handle this now. And you know my love for music. I can only handle songs that come from stringed instruments that don't make me shudder with revulsion. Sounds invade my sleep and make my dream world just as real as my real world, and at times I'm too hard-pressed to tell the difference even.
Wow. That sounds awful.
My condition is an heirloom. I've been in the family for years. I've learned to deal with it.
And you said there was more?
Yes, Ethan, there is. The path is dark and crowded by these malevolent beings. Ethan, I'm too weak to face this alone. I need you to help me conquer this trial, or at least persevere towards the end.
Well, Roddy, you have my full attention for however long you need it, of course.
Ethan, I shall die. I shall perish in this horrible joke of an existence.
Wait, what do you mean?
Ethan, I fear the future. I dread the events of the future, even the most minor incident which may set off a fire inside of my mind, Ethan, in this unnerved, in this pitiable condition. I believe that the period of time will sooner or later arise where I must abandon life and reason together in some struggle with this fear.
My God, Roddy, of what are you so afraid? Hold that thought. Just a moment. Yes, come in. Mr. Gray.
What do you want?
I brought you some tea, sir.
Tea? Tea? Do I look like I ordered tea? No, I detest tea.
Of course. I thought perhaps Mr. Powell, after his long journey, might care for a cup.
Of course.
Cream or sugar, sir?
Oh, no cream or sugar. Thank you.
Dinner will be served at 7 in the dining room.
The dining room.
Yes, with Mr. Powell. I thought you would prefer a formal dinner.
I'll tell you what I prefer.
Yes, sir. As you wish. I will leave this right here. Just for you.
Have you a reason to suspect her of some malfeasance?
Ethan, she's the reason I can't sleep at night. She enters the room when I am no longer able to keep my eyes open. And even though I can hear her and am aware of her presence, it is at those moments I am completely at her mercy.
Well, Roddy, you could dismiss her. She is under your employ.
For what reason?
I think sneaking about is reason enough.
Oh, Ethan, it's better the devil you know than the devil you do not.
Roddy, Miss Gray has been with you for quite some time, but if you find her services are dissatisfactory, then dismiss her by all means. You have the right. You are the master, after all.
I am the master. I am the master, the lord of the manor, Ethan. Do I not look the part? For my proud bearings, my defiant chin. I am the master. You said it yourself, friend. As such, all rights, privileges, and imprecations that station bequeaths are mine. The land, the manor, this dwelling, this fortress. Ethan, do you know I can't remember the last time I wrote about the grounds? Did you find that outlands as dismal and gloom-stricken as this fortress? This aura of prison as pervaded under its title, I tell you, from the masonry to the woodwork to the occupants living inside, even the lifeless vegetation that surrounds it, all permeated by this pestilent and mystic vapor. Nothing escapes its fetid touch. It has sink into my very soul as their poison strikes throughout my body, and... Do you feel it, Ethan?
Do you
smell it? Smell perversion, nameless wars, chaos, ruin, madness.
Roddy, you must wrest yourself free of this misimpression. I mean, this house is merely old. Your body and your spirit have assumed the power of your surroundings because of neglect. I mean, all this gloom and doom is nothing that can't be cured by a brisk ride through the countryside to turn some color to your cheeks
was nothing more than my rotting flesh, then I would not have implored you to come. This shell means nothing to me. Nothing. Let the devil take it. I would gladly hand it over would it allay my sister's torment. She who is dear to me than my own flesh.
Your sister, Madeline, of course.
Yes, Madeline. Ethan, I implore you to come because you are like a brother to me. For now, she, my closest companion for many years, has been irreparably marred from within. That beautiful, gorgeous instrument corrupted Ethan, and oh, I cannot take it, Ethan.
What's wrong with her?
I cannot take it, Ethan.
What's wrong with her?
What's wrong with her? Ethan, she's dying! She's dying and they can't stop it! No one can stop it! Each day she goes wicked and wicked! Each day she goes closer to death's door! Alas, she's accepted it! Embraced death! Open to fight!
I'm here for you.
Peace!
The medicine will take a few days, and then he shall relax and sleep.
Does he become like this often?
Yes, frequently. That is why I look in on him so regularly.
And the doctor can do nothing for him.
Dr. Godwin says medically there's nothing wrong with him.
But he's wasting away, whatever it is. It's killing him.
The fire inside him has gone out. It is a noble thing for you to stay with your friends. Not many people endure such a task.
You do?
It is my job. Look, he begins to sleep now. Would you follow me into the dining room? Your dinner is ready.
Will I be eating alone then?
If you please, sir.
It's coming. It's coming.
Roddy? Rodrick? Miss Gray? It's Mr. Usher. He's gone.
Mr. Usher will return. Would you care for a brandy?
Oh, brandy would be welcome. Thank you. Are you sure he's all right?
Oh, Mr. Usher never leaves this room for long. He'll be back.
No need to look for him then.
Please sit and enjoy your brandy.
I'm sorry. I'm having some trouble understanding the situation here. So, Mr. Usher appears to be physically exhausted and mentally disturbed. The Lady Madeline, much worse condition than he. I understand they're both suffering from some incurable and obscure form of illness. And you confided to me that they've both lost the will to live and merely await the inevitable.
Well, what is it you don't understand?
I don't understand is what is being done about it. I mean, they've clearly been in this deplorable condition for some weeks now, and here we are, sipping brandy, apparently waiting for them to die.
Well, what would you have us do?
I'd have you find some answers, for God's sakes. I mean, have them admitted to a hospital, bring in some experts, research their family history, similar ailments, their symptoms, make some inquiries, I don't know.
Mr. Powell, I appreciate your distress, and I sympathize. But you must believe me, there is nothing more we can do. Every option has been explored, and every measure has been taken to cure their illnesses. What effects, Mr. Usher, falls beyond the scope of medical sciences to address. Last thing we could do would be to lock him in an asylum. None of us want to see that happen, so we deal with him here. Lady Madeline's condition can be readily defined, but there's no known cure. I'm sorry, Mr. Powell. I have no answers.
Forgive me, Miss Gray. I appreciate all that you've done. As if she's in a trance.
Yes.
Miss Usher? Miss Usher? Miss Usher, can you hear me? My name's Ethan Powell. I'm a friend of your brother's. Your brother's absent at the
you'd come with me.
I did. Let's go now. Back to your room.
I'm sorry I couldn't wait. You said you'd come. You said we'd go together. I'm so tired, Ronnie. I'm so tired.
Don't worry, love. I'll come with you. We'll go together. See? Now we're together. We'll always be together. What do you make of that?
Make a plan, Mr. Powell.
Usher's reaction from out of nowhere, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I would be hesitant to say where any of Mr. Usher's reaction has come from.
More like a jealous husband than a loving brother. What did she mean when she said, I can't wait, and that you said we'd go together?
Oh, I really could not say.
You said we'd go together.
Mr. Powell, may I be perfectly frank with you? These people, they have their own ways. They don't have lives as we do. This is their whole life, this Tark mansion. And it doesn't do any good to speculate what the master did or what the lady said. They're a class unto themselves. The family of Usher has always been that way. Do you know you are the first person I know of to be invited in, ever?
Well, what about you?
A necessary evil. Same as the doctor and all the other servants. For all their peculiar ways, they still need a little help from an outside agency.
Well, but the Ushers are known throughout the region for their love of the arts and their charitable donations.
Mr. Powell, that is all handled by a legal agent. The master and the lady have corresponded with no one, and they haven't for years. Except for you, of course.
A very singular summons.
Mr. Powell, how long do you intend on staying?
Oh, as long as Roddy needs me.
I see. Mr. Usher can be a very needful individual.
Oh, well, I'm prepared to stay a month, and I could adjust if need be to remain longer. You know, I've already set all my affairs aside until this matter is resolved.
I see.
I must say, Roddy has a fascinating collection of books, very diverse. I'm sure he's all intimately familiar with the Bible.
Yes,
Wow. I mean, I never knew he was so spiritual.
I believe he is.
It's not finished, Ethan.
Roddy, you startled me. If I give any offense in regards to the Lady Madeline, I'm sincerely sorry.
Oh, Ethan, I'm losing her. I don't know what to do.
I know, Roddy.
She can't eat, she can't sleep. She has these horrible fits that rack her body, leaving her exhausted and disoriented.
Well, try not to worry. The doctor is doing
No, leave it.
all he can. Your paintings, Roddy, have you been working on it long? You know, I'm quite anxious to see it, Roddy. Roddy, what do you say in the morning, after breakfast, we take a ride about the grounds, get some fresh air. We can have a team hooked up if you don't feel up to riding. I believe getting out of the house every once in a while would do you some good, boost your spirits. What do you say? Will you go for a ride? I mean, no? Are you sure? Sometimes exercise is just the thing to break a spell of gloom. Well, maybe you'll feel different in the morning.
I believe I will go look at a Lady Madeline. Good night, gentlemen.
Roddy, listen to me. No one in this house has done you any good. Let me take you away. And Madeline, too. I know this man, a highly respected physician. I know he can do something for you.
No, Ethan, no. Godwin has been the family physician for years. He knows there are only certain...
No, Roddy,
No,
please.
Ethan, enough. Please.
But your sister, she needs professional help. She may die.
Soon, I fear.
Then all the more reason to act. If I leave here by tonight, then maybe I can bring him here by tomorrow morning. Yes, I'll rouse up the stable boy and I'll gather my things.
Ethan, no, please. Don't go. Stay.
No,
Stay with
Roddy.
me. Everything that can be done has been done. I just need you to help me conquer this trial, Ethan, please. I can't endure this alone.
Very well then.
Hand me that blanket, Ethan. I feel a chill.
Oh, of course.
Do you hear that, Ethan? It speaks
mean, I'm sure that's just Miss Gray tidying up for the evening.
Possibly. Maybe not. There.
A limb scratching the window. That's just the sounds of the night.
Groans in the floorboards, squeaks of old doors, footsteps in the rafters, moans from hereafter, tapping at my window pane, echoing down lonely halls, whispering behind the walls. Hush, be still, my little one. Waiting is over, all is done. So come to bed, my little one.
A rather macabre nursery rhyme.
So come to bed, gently rock inside my head. Sing a song for the almost dead. Pull a blanket over my head. Madeline, we used to have such fun together.
We had a great collection of dolls that we played with. We would imagine that they would travel all over the world. We had this game where each room in the house was a different country. This was Vienna, the cellar dark Africa, and the horse stables was America. And we'd always pass their mother's bedchamber to tell the queen of our adventures. Mother was confined to her bed most of our lives, and she died while we were very young, but we adored her. She was a great queen, and we had such fun playing with her. Madeline now, she was shy. Never really spoke to anyone but me. And I know you didn't know this, Ethan, but every day I was away at school for her. I was painfully homesick for her. I cried many silent tears into my pillow each night. We couldn't bear to be apart. And then when I finally returned home for my studies, I promised her we'd never be apart. We never have.
She fears of dying alone. Why don't you try to get some sleep? Here, I'll help you too. Come.
No, Ethan, no. Stay with me, please.
All right, Roddy. Oh, Roddy. What has become of you? Chase you about the grounds with my horse riding crop? I'm much stronger than you, Roddy. You know I can do it. So, what will it be? Well, at least let me open the windows, everyone.
No, Ethan, no. The light, it disturbs me.
Oh, sorry. Your hypersensitivity. I'm sorry. I suggest the sound of my voice droning on and on may disturb you as well. Your pardon, sir. You mind if I straighten up a few things? Miss Gray said that you didn't let her in this morning, refused your breakfast again, and that you were to be left undisturbed by everybody except for me. Well, don't expect me to wait on your hand and foot. I came here to boost your spirits, not empty your chamber pot. Hey, back when we were in school, you remember this one, Ronnie? You have marked here. A gaily bedight. This one was one of your favorites. A gaily bedight, a gallant knight, in sunshine and in shadow, had journeyed long, singing a song in search of El Dorado. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and over his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot on the ground that looked like El Dorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim shadow. Shadow said he, where can it be, this land of El Dorado? Over the mountains of the moon,
Down the valley of the shadow, ride, boldly ride, the shade replied, if you seek for El Dorado. Ethan, I think of you every time I read that.
Oh, how young we were then.
Indeed, my friend.
Come on, Roddy. Ride with me. What could have hurt? Roddy?
I call it Passage to Oblivion.
Is it a crypt, Roddy? A powerful image indeed. Congratulations on completing it, of course.
Stone needs some finishing touches.
Why a crypt, Roddy?
You could take that ride alone now, couldn't you?
What inspired you to portray this?
It's what came out
Of your head?
of the canvas.
I see. It all seems aglow. Is this a real place
Yes,
that you're familiar with?
intimately.
You frequent it?
It's beneath the house, actually, right through those doors.
Hold on, a crib beneath the house?
I primarily use it as a wine cellar. In the past, it's been used as a place to store ammunitions, powders of such. It used to be a dungeon. You see, shackles embedded in the walls, artifacts and such.
I see. But who have you entombed in there?
Family.
I doubt mediating on these images could do you any good, Roddy.
It's a release.
A release? No. It is an obsession, and it's clearly destroying you. Can you not see that?
Oh, Ethan, I see it all. I see it all crumbling into an abyss. These obscenities of death surround us. I mean, it's taken everything that I've ever held dearly to me, and only here in my sanctum sanctorum am I able to evade these trespasses.
Roddy, I tell you true. This morbid fear you have is an invitation to death. The way to defeat is not by sealing yourself in a vault, thus rejecting the world, but you must seek out and embrace the joy of living, the pain, the sorrow, as well as the pleasures. You can't hide behind the perils of life, not behind castle walls or gates of iron or coats of steel. You must seek out, you must face your hardships, face your problems through. Let it go and let it pass. Time will heal, my friend.
Oh, Ethan, I rejoice to see that your fervor for life is still so strong. You are like the star of Bethlehem, descended upon my state of gloom. I thank you for your good tidings, Harold. Are you perhaps my savior as well?
Oh, you mock me.
No, Ethan, no. You are the gallant knight, strong, brave, pure-hearted, and loyal. You have made sense of your world and have wisely chosen your battles. You diligently seek the highest good in all living things. But there are things in my world Horatio not dreamt of in your philosophy. Arcana that has been veiled to me, but after careful prayer and meditation, I have found the inarticulate meaning. In the greenest of valleys by good angels tenanted, once a fair and stately palace, a radiant palace, reared its head, and the monarch thought's dominion it stood there. Never seraph spread a pinion over fabric half so fair. Banners yellow, glorious golden, on a roof did float and float. All this now was in the olden times, long ago. And every gentle air that dallied on that sweet day, ramparts plumed and pallid, a winged odor went away. And all with pearl and ruby showing was the fair palace door, and evermore was flowing, 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 and sparkling evermore. A troop of echoes whose sweet duty was but to sing, their surpassing beauty, the wit and wisdom of their king. But evil things and robes of sorrow assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn, for never morrow shall dawn upon him desolate.
My God, I'm sure there is some message behind this, but my narrow philosophy prevents me from perceiving it.
You've spoken of the life cycle. We are die, then we're born again, and then we die, then we become dust and food for another cycle, and so forth.
Well, yes, this cycle is the nature of things.
All things seem to be in this life to death, order to chaos to order cycle.
Yes?
This force that generates order to chaos, that determines how a body will be composed, the hardness of a rock, or how many petals are on a flower, this force seems mysterious indeed, yes?
Well, this force is a divine power. The will of the Creator set the laws of nature into motion.
Right, now consider this force, this divine power inhabiting every animate and inanimate object in this world. This force has also endowed all things with instincts, procreation, self-preservation, and so forth. Could you imagine these processes taking place in every inanimate object, including the mineral world, imperceptible to human senses, but occurring and continuing nevertheless?
However, imperceptible, wouldn't there be evidence of such activity?
The evidence, oh yes, let me explain of the arcane mysteries I have begun to perceive. I believe there is an activity within these walls, yes, even a sentience with a purpose.
Oh, come on now, that's preposterous.
Ethan, please, I do not come to these conclusions sitting idly. I've lived here all my life. I've become attuned with my surroundings, and I tell you, these walls have life. They have a purpose.
What is so special about these walls?
Well, Ethan, I cannot say for certain, but I suspect that somehow, when my forebears erected this castle, long, long ago, this castle that has stood the test of time, this castle that has somehow gained a consciousness. Yes, Ethan, over the decades, the house of Usher has become alive.
Well, do you have evidence to support this?
The evidence is around us. It's in the condensation of the atmosphere. It's in the waters, in the walls. Can you not see the mansion breathe? Can you not see it rise and gently fall? Does it not assault your nostrils like the fetid breath of the malefic dragon, Ethan? Oh, yes, there is evidence. Oh, yes.
If it is possibly alive and it breathes, then it must take a sustenance. What does it live off of?
Excellent question, one that I've asked myself for many years, but to my horrors, I only find one answer. It is a cannibal. It feeds on us.
Wait, on people?
No, not just any people. It has specific tastes, specific needs. It feeds on me and mine. Only those that share its name. Mind you, it's not a flesh eater. It consumes the spirit, saps away at the very life force to live.
Why? What does it want?
To live, to endure. See, Ethan, it is powerful but not wise. Its hunger for such a specialized diet has driven the food source to almost extinction. Madeline and I is all that it has left. So in spite of its profane thirst for life, it falls with us.
You are quite convinced of this, aren't you?
You think I'm mad?
No. I think you've allowed your incredible imagination supersede logic. I think you've been caged up in this room for far too long.
Maybe too long, but long enough to know.
Roddy, I don't understand how you could possibly believe that this house is responsible for you and your sister's condition.
truly live under.
I think there is no need to burden her.
Oh, Ethan, I thank you for hearing me. This has been such a burden. I mean, seriously, thank you.
Oh, how could I refuse my brother's summons?
Mr. Usher, the doctor says the lady.
No!
She's.
What is it, Mr. Ray? Relapse?
She's dead.
No! At the request of Usher, I personally aided him in the arrangements for the entombment. The body, having been in the coffin, we two alone bore it to its rest. The vault, which it had been sealed in, was small, damp, and entirely without means of admission of light. The whole interior was sheathed in copper, just as depicted in the painting, and the doors of massive iron had also been similarly protected. Its immense weight created this unusually sharp, grating sound that moved upon its hinges. Having deposited our mournful burden within trestles of this grave order, we partially turned aside the yet unscrewed lid of the coffin and looked upon the face of the tenant. Our glances, however, had not lasted long upon the dead, as to not regard her unawed. The disease which had entombed the lady in the maturity of her youth had left the mockery of a faint blush upon her face and bosom, and a suspiciously lingering smile which was terrible in death. We screwed down and replaced the lid, and having secured the doors of iron, we made our way with toil into the scarcely less gloomy upper chambers of the house. After some days of bitter grief had elapsed, an observable change came over the mental disorder of my friend. His ordinary manner had vanished. Typical occupations often forgotten or neglected, he often rode chamber to chamber with rushed, unequal, or objectless step. His countenance had assumed, if possible, a ghastly hue and a tremendous quaver as if of extreme horror habitually characterized his utterance. I often found him longing at vacancy for long hours as if listening to some imaginary sound. It was no wonder his condition had terrified me. I felt it creeping upon him by slow degrees, the wildest influences of his own fantastic, yet impressive superstitions. Alive. I could almost believe it. The Mad Tryst by Sir Lancelot Campo. Well, good afternoon, Miss Gray.
Hello, Mr. Powell.
Your timing is impeccable. Would you join me?
Oh, I really must be going about my business.
Please, Miss Gray, I'd like to speak with you.
All right, Mr. Powell. What is it you would like to talk about?
Well, nothing really. Miss Gray, you've been with the Ushers for quite some time now, is that correct?
Yes, I inherited this muscle from my mother. The Grays have served the Ushers for 3 generations now.
I see. So they must not keep any secrets from you.
Oh, not many, sir.
You're not married, Miss Gray?
No, sir.
Any family?
I have an aunt in Edinburgh, but we are not close.
So the Ushers have kind of become your family.
You could say that.
And you've resided in this house for...
7, almost 8 years now.
I see.
Mr. Powell, are you interested in my personal history, or is there something else?
Oh, there is, Miss Gray, forgive me. How long has Usher been under medical care for?
Oh, always, Mr. Powell. The lady and the master have, had weak constitutions.
Really? You know, that's strange to me because the Rodrick Usher I knew was a robust young man full of vim and vigor. How could you account for the difference between his poor condition at home and the vital man I knew while he was away at school?
I am not sure. That seems strange to me as well.
Are you aware spiritual essence. Isn't that odd?
Maybe not so very. Many people believe that a house takes on the characteristics of those who abide in it.
Yes, that's true. But do they also believe that a house can influence their destiny?
I'm not sure.
Might some even believe that a house can express some tangible force upon their lives further, indeed have a real power over them?
I do not know.
And driving this power is a will and motive, a desire to live, Miss Gray. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I have not.
But yourself, you have been in this house for 7 years. Have you ever sensed an awareness, a power, a malevolent spirit within these walls?
Mr. Powell, I am not a superstitious woman. I haven't seen any doors open or close by themselves. I haven't heard any strange noises, and I haven't seen any ghosts. I am not convinced by those who say they have. But this house, something about it.
Yes?
Something about it seems connected to the land.
And Usher?
I do not know.
It's fantastic to consider Roddy's beliefs. I, too, am possessed by the same feeling that this house, the land, Usher, they're all somehow connected in some grotesque symbiosis. If this house were alive, then it may regard us as an infestation, a foreign matter to be expelled. To it, we may be a disease.
Mr. Powell, you often say things like that.
I'm sorry. Did I frighten you?
You're exciting yourself all over nothing. This is pure speculative nonsense.
Yes, but you said it yourself. There is something strange about this house.
And I was wrong. It is perfectly ordinary.
Ordinary?
I'll grant you it has its certain eccentricities, and it has been housed by an eccentric lot. But if you don't mind, I'd rather not talk of such foolishness.
Miss Gray, please don't go just yet. There's one more thing.
Yes, Mr. Powell.
Are you familiar with the medications that Mr. Usher is taking?
I believe I am.
Are you familiar with this?
Where did you get that?
I found it inside of one of Mr. Usher's books. It appears that he hollowed out a page to fit this in here. Is this part of his prescription?
I do not know.
Where do you suppose you got it then?
I don't know, Mr. Powell.
Well, since you don't know, then the doctor might. I shall speak with him next time he calls.
That might be a good idea. In the meantime, I suggest you put that back where you found it. Mr. Usher, can get very agitated when personal items of his have been tampered with.
Ah, I see. Thank you, Miss Gray.
You're welcome, Mr. Powell.
Oh, Roddy, is this all a figment of your drug-crazed mind? Maybe I'm mad as well. What is real? What is imagined? Roddy. Roddy, what is it? Roddy, are you alright? I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. Are you
sails the monarch's side stick? Let us mourn, for nevermore so dawn upon a destiny.
Roddy, take this. I want you to take this. Roddy. Roddy, would you at least look at me, for God's sake? Roddy, snap, out. Here.
What?
Take this. There. You are not quite yourself today, old friend. What were you writing just now?
Right.
Yes, you came in here muttering something, then you went to your desk, wrote something down, then shoved it in your pocket.
My pockets.
Yes. Can I see it? May I see what you've written, Roddy? I can't. Oh, it's from your old ballad, The Haunted Palace from the other night. The evil things in robes of sorrow assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn for never morrow. Shall dawn upon him desolate. Roddy. Roddy. Why don't you try to get some sleep? Here. Some sleep should do you some good, Roddy. aloud, you shall listen. This will help us pass this terrible night away together. I shall begin reading here. Very well. But the good champion Ethelred, now entering within the door, was sore and raged and amazed to perceive no signal of the malicious hermit, but instead there was a dragon of a scaly and prodigious demeanor, and of a fiery tongue which sat in guard before a palace of gold. With a floor of silver, and upon the wall there hung a shield of shining brass, with this legend written: Who entereth herein, a conqueror hath been, who slayeth the dragon, the shield he shall win. And Ethelred uplifted his mace, giving up his pesky breath with a shriek so horrid and harsh, and withal so piercing that Ethelred had fain to close his ears with his hands against the dreadful noise of it, the like whereof was never before heard. Oh, now the champion, having escaped from the terrible fury of the dragon, bethinking himself of the brazen shield and of the breaking up of the enchantment which was upon it, he removed the carcass from out of the way before him, and approached valorously over the silver pavement of the castle to where the shield was hung upon the wall, which in sooth tarried not for his full coming, but fell down at his feet upon the floor with a mighty, great, and terrible ringing sound.
Ethan, how do you hear it, Ethan? Because I've heard it many minutes, many hours, many days I've heard it, Ethan. But I dare, oh, I dare not speak. Ethan, we have buried her alive in the tomb. Did I not say my senses were acute? Do you not hear the horrible beating of her heartbeat coming up the stairs? Ethan, Madeline, I tell you, Madeline stands without the door.
From that chamber and from that mansion I fled aghast. The storm was still abroad in all its wrath as I found myself crossing the little causeway. Suddenly there shot along a path a wild light, and I turned my head once to see a gleam so unusual that could have issued, for the house and all its shadows were alone behind me. The radiance was that of a full setting and blood-red moon, which shone vividly, extended through a fissure that extended through the roof of the building in a zigzag direction at the base. While I gazed at the house, it rapidly widened, and there came a fierce breath of the wind, and my brain reeled as I see the mighty walls rushing down on me. There was a turbulent shouting sound like the voice of 1,000 waters. The deep and dank tarn at my feet sullenly closed over the fragments of the house of Usher.